Hello viewers, welcome to Mantan TV. There are some standard operation procedures are set in work to get green journey, that is decarbonization in small and micro and medium enterprises. Today we have CA HANMANDLOO garu with us. Let's talk about this and let us know the process and steps they are taking to implement green journey in all the industries. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
As I said, government or any other industries are morely focusing on green journey these days, that is decarbonization.
Yes.
So what are the steps they are taking and how they are going to implement this procedure in the industries or any enterprises, sir?
Recently, the central government has prescribed standards of standard operating procedures (SOPs) to be followed by MSMEs, especially MSMEs, because MSMEs are more prone for using fossil fuel,
Yes.
maybe petrol or diesel, coal, gas like that. So the government has said no, the MSME should be encouraged to go for green energy generation. That is that should reduce the emission reduction targets, technology innovations, creating pool of skilled workforce also to decarbonize that. Means MSMEs are to be encouraged to use only green energy, reduce carbon emissions by using fossil fuel. So this is the object. So for this purpose, the government has prescribed standards to be achieved by every MSME unit. And for that purpose, what the government plans to see, generally encouraging MSME is very difficult because they are too small, they cannot invest, and they will be dependent on support
Yes.
from the government. And also there needs replacement, some machinery or some parts, some instruments, some electrical appliances. All this requires a lot of investment. To meet these targets, the MSME central government is ready to incentive, financial incentive, and regulatory relaxations. Means if you are using power, you have to inform the conditions will be there. You cannot use more than this one, this much of power. But if it is through green energy, the relaxation may be more.
Okay.
Also, there may be relaxation for some other regulations required for MSME, which adapts green energy technologies and help for decarbonizing the emissions. So, this is for the purpose of emission reduction targets and promoting green fuel, and also to create skilled workforce that help to decarbonize the effluents. This is the main purpose, and why it is required that. See, in every unit, maybe small, big, or large, needs power.
Yes.
Especially MSME, they needs power. Of course, large companies can go for their own power generating units, or they can go for solar units, or anything they can do. But small sector, they may not be possible. But these MSMEs are there in every sector, maybe steel, coal, and all other sectors also MSME units are there. Maybe
Yes.
small or big, they are carrying on activities. So, to ensure the decarbonization adopted by the MSMEs, a roadmap is prescribed by the Ministry of MSME to be followed by MSME units. This is important. And why the government wants MSME first, MSME only? Because MSME units, industrial emissions are 10 to 15% of total emissions by any manufacturing sector. Means MSME is one of the major contributor for industrial emissions. And also CO2 emissions are 3 to 4%, and that is why it is so much of so many industrial emissions. The reason is the MSME use pumps, motors, boilers, energy productions from fossil fuels. This is the reason the industrial emissions are more for MSME. So, to mitigate the usage of fossil fuel and to encourage green energy usage by MSME and to encourage also energy efficiency and to encourage them to use alternative fuels, the central government is proposing to have the greening the grid, means green grid, so that power is generated only through green energy, not with fossil fuel, and adoption of circular economy. Circular economy means it generates, rotates the income, multiplies the income activities. This is the importance the MSME ministry is giving guidelines to MSMEs to follow towards green energy, to adopt green energy, to reduce usage of fossil fuel in energy generation. One more thing is the MSME ministry also creating an e-marketplace for there are emissions and wastage in every industry.
Yes.
The MSME ministry also creating a e-marketplace. This may be e-wastage for recyclables and recovery facilities. Means every scrap will have some recovery facility, and to get more recovery as well as able to recycle. So for this purpose, the central MSME ministry is proposing a e-commerce platform so that the MSME units can transfer this waste, so that the waste can be recycled or the material can be useful material can be recovered from the waste. So for this purpose, the central MSME ministry, the central government has sanctioned rupees 15,000 crores through Bureau of Energy Efficiency, that is BEE, will monitor the implementation of standard operating procedures by MSME units, and which will prescribe standards of reference point of emission levels for comparison. So this BEE will prescribe the standards for emission levels, so that every unit follow. If any unit is lagging behind, that can be motivated by encouraging to follow the other unit which is having better performance, or which which is producing lesser industrial emissions. So this is the story. This is the steps taken by the central government to reduce the MSME dependence on fossil fuel and to shift over to green energy. So one more question comes: why MSME? Why so important for MSME? Because MSME contributes around 30% of GDP, Indian GDP. Though they are small units, but those units contribute 30% of GDP, and 45% of total exports are from MSME units.
Oh.
So this is where the highly technical talent is there, and also the scope for improvement is there, and also their contribution to GDP and export also. The central government is concentrating on MSME upliftment, and which should be highly energy efficient as well as emission intensive.
Yes.
This is the main aim of central government in guiding the MSME units, and also to reduce the dependence of MSMEs on fossil fuel. Because fossil fuel produces more carbon, and green energy with reduce, or we can say negligible industrial emissions. So this carbon, to reduce the carbon carbon emissions, the central government has prescribed levels to be maintained by all MSME units by shifting from fossil fuel based energy generation units to green energy based energy producing units. This is the idea behind concentrating on MSMEs
MSME.
first, MSMEs also, because MSMEs contribute 30% of GDP and 45% of total export. And also nearly MSME contributes around 10 to 11% of total employment by industrial sector. This is one of the important aspect for MSMEs. So for this purpose, the central government is planning to concentrate on MSMEs to reduce the dependence of fossil fuel.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.